Temple Grey water. It'll quench you.
Nothing's quenchier.
It's the quenchiest.
It's a giant smoke monster. Maybe it's friendly.
So we're going to be watching Lost episode 4 of season 6 today. What's going to happen with Claire? Is she going to be evil? Is Saeed going to turn evil? Let's find out.
Let's do it. Let's watch it now.
6:04 on Amazon. I feel so terrible Locke is actually dead.
I know.
Business or pleasure? Actually,
Except
He's
here.
alive there.
Yeah.
Welcome to Los
So
Angeles.
conflicted.
Don't tell me he's stuck on
Oh no!
Come
Jeez.
on.
2, 3, and go.
Oh no! Yep.
Shit.
Oh
Come on,
man.
neighbors.
Oh come
Oh, shit.
on.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Come on, let's get you inside.
I like this one.
That one?
I kind of thought.
Very. Who's Dr. Jack Shepard?
Oh, I met him at Lost Luggage when I went to fill out the forms. He lost something too.
What are the odds of you just running into a spinal surgeon?
And he
I mean, who
offers a
knows?
free consult.
Maybe it's destiny.
You guys can be besties.
Oh. Now Evil Locke is flying around.
Yeah. Just checking out the
Who
idea.
needs
Wow, we
legs?
never see his POV. Ooh, we just see the smoke reflection. Oh no.
Time to talk.
Poor Richard, that sucks. He's like the
know
only.
it.
I really feel like he's a good guy, you know?
Mm-hmm. Okay, he's going. Oh, it's just work.
How was the conference, John?
I was okay. I didn't really learn anything.
No.
But, I made some good contacts, though.
Really? That's interesting. I did some checking. Yeah, it seems that you didn't attend a single event. Since we sent you to Sydney on the company's dime, where the hell were you?
Look, Randy, I'm really sorry. It's personal, and I really don't want to talk about it.
Okay, John.
Oh, you're fired.
You're fired.
Crap. Oh,
Yeah,
crap.
that really wasn't a good answer for him, though, if he went from...
Yeah, I know. The
Next
company's. Yeah.
Why do you look like John Locke?
I knew he'd get me access to Jacob. Because John's a candidate. You've been doing everything he told you all this time, and he never said why?
And he's not even a candidate?
He's so scared.
People seldom get a second chance.
I'm not going anywhere with you.
Get
No!
stab.
The end of Richard. Oh,
That's
God,
it.
look. Ooh, cut his
Huh?
wrist. What happened?
Nothing, never mind.
Does the smoke monster
Just
have
see
a
Richard.
past? The human past?
Sooner than you think.
Tell me what happened to them.
You wouldn't
All
believe
right.
me.
There's a fairly reasonable chance that you won't believe me.
Yes.
I killed them right before my eyes.
Did it kill Jacob as well?
Oh, God.
Oh, no, I
Yes? Locke kicked him into the fire and he burned away.
Well, at least he didn't say I killed him because
Right.
he was manipulated.
did. Yeah, he's omitting that little
And she'll go after
particular
him.
part.
He's recruiting.
War. Ashes from the dead? Like pure people or something?
Oh,
Maybe
and that's the
why?
whole thing. Why, yeah, they
I
put
thought it
it
was
around the
just
perimeter.
ashes or something, but ashes from the dead maybe.
Mm.
Is it? It's Sawyer.
It is,
Oh, God, he's visiting him. Oh, don't hurt him.
don't like
No,
that.
he's in a bad place, so he might be easy to convince.
Yeah. Be funny if it just went through him.
What'd you do in your pants there?
The ghost of Christmas past.
Yeah, so much
All I
has
care
happened
about
to
is
him.
this
Jesus
mission.
Christ.
So bottoms up. Who are you? You sure as hell ain't John Locke.
What makes you say that?
Because Locke was scared.
He's good at reading people. He's like, ooh, I'm intrigued by you.
Why are you on this island?
I'm on this island because my plane crashed.
That's not why you're here. I can prove it.
Well, I guess I better put some pants on.
No. Shirtless, pantless, all
That's
in.
right.
Stop it.
Oh no, he's mad. Oh no. Oh,
I'd
it's
stop just before
stalled.
that.
Oh, he's right there. Oh!
That's cute.
You know, there's a handicap spot right over here.
Yeah, okay, but I don't have to park there.
Oh, I
can
kind of
park
wondered.
anywhere
Okay.
I want.
Hugo Reyes.
John Locke.
Tell you what, John. I own a temp agency, too. Call this number. Things are gonna work out.
Oh, that's nice.
Now, can you move the car?
We know who Locke is, but he probably just hired like this crazy guy.
Come on, let's get out of here. What makes you think that I'm going with you? Because you want to find Jen. What do you know about my husband?
Oh, it's
What about John? We need to bury him.
You've got him with you.
What the hell's that?
Oh, he sees it too.
You can see him?
The kid? Hell yeah, I can see him.
Hey!
He has some connection to this kid.
Jacob, maybe? Strike me down and become more powerful than you can ever imagine.
Rules.
Is this like Neverland or something?
That evil Peter Pan?
Don't tell me what I can't do!
Maybe he is
It's almost
young
like a Ben and
Jacob.
Charles thing. You can't kill them.
Yeah.
Each other.
Yeah. It's each other.
Spirit Jacob, only certain people can see him.
Where is he? What the hell are you doing here?
Where is he?
Oh no.
Locke? Ran off into the jungle after some kid.
We need to go now
Go where?
to the temple. Let's go. He wants everyone dead. Everyone you care about. All of them. And he won't stop.
Oh crap! Oh no! He's gonna kill him. Run! Okay, at least Richard got out of there. Oh no! At least he got
You
that.
gotta believe him.
out.
You know it's not really him.
Oh, he didn't see him at all.
Let's get on with it.
Where's
Go
that
that way.
go?
Exit stage right.
What kind of animal would you describe yourself as?
Smoke monster. Oh.
Good morning, Mr. Locke.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm Rose now.
Oh, I look, I know that voice. Oh
What
wow.
can I do for you?
Mr. Reyes told me if I came down here, I would be taken care of.
And Mr. Reyes is my boss, so if he said that, I can make it happen. Let's try to be a little more realistic.
And what do you know about
No, he's being
realistic?
so stubborn. I feel so bad for him.
I have cancer. I got back to living whatever life I've got left.
That's good. I'm glad that she's there talking to him.
Perfect person to talk to.
Lenny's kind of slow. Causing George problems. And he shoots Lenny in the back of the head.
Well, that doesn't sound like a happy ending.
Right through me.
Why don't we find out?
Oh God. No, I like Sawyer.
But before I was trapped, I was a man, James, just like you.
I have a hard time believing that.
You can believe whatever you want, but that's the truth. I know what it's like to lose someone you love.
Saying everything you want to hear because you relate to that. Me? You just shoot you in the back anyways. He won't do it.
No.
Nope. Crap, he's good.
All right, I know him. John Locke was a much better man than I will ever be. And I'm very sorry I murdered him.
Oh, and he just said it out loud. He's like, where do you go from here?
You have feelings now?
I've ever been to.
Can I help you?
Come on.
No, you can't.
Who's out on the phone?
No one.
Well, I don't understand. Why wouldn't you?
I got fired, Helen.
He got fired, but he was offered a job.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Temporary though.
I lied to Randy. I didn't go to the conference in Sydney.
What?
Open the case, Helen. Man against nature. And I sat there yelling at them, shouting at them that they couldn't tell me what I can't do.
That's what the smoke version of him just yelled at that kid about.
Yeah.
So if you need me to get out of this chair, I
Don't guilt
blame you.
I
her.
was ever waiting for. was you.
Aww. And she was so good for him.
Sweet.
Down there.
No offense, but you already died. So it's great that this is not a big deal for you.
And there's two separate ones? Oh my god.
Why is he doing this? He's gonna push it over.
Yeah,
Put it over on the other one!
Crap! Crap! Oh god, it's gonna hit. It's gonna snag in.
His head!
Yep. Oh! Crap. Well, there's no going back up. Scale. They're perfectly balanced.
That's why you're here.
They're crossed off.
Oh, the ones who died.
Reyes.
And who was writing all that? Him?
It's probably him.
All right, everyone. Today we are going to talk about the human reproductive system.
Oh boy.
All right, I know I sound like a broken record, but how many times do we have to go
No
over
way,
this?
he's there too.
If you have the last cup of coffee, you remove the filter.
Oh god, yeah, he would so be that way.
Nerd.
Ben Linus, European
Wow.
history.
John Locke, substitute.
Well, welcome.
I like this guy.
Yeah, I can be friends now.
Why are all the names crossed out?
They're not all crossed out.
People who died.
Shepard's still there.
Shepard. What's the 8 about?
Jacob had a thing for numbers.
Yeah, just like the actual numbers.
16.
Oh, those are the
That's
numbers.
Saeed.
He brought him back once. Yeah, when he was very little.
At some point in your life, James, probably when you were young, when you were miserable and vulnerable, you're a candidate.
Candidate for what?
He thought he was the protector of this place. And you, James, have been nominated to take over that job. Your name
Get crossed off.
will get crossed out.
Oh.
And it will be perfectly fine without Jacob or you or any of the other people whose lives he wasted. And we never look back.
And how do we do that?
Together.
Hell yes.
Hell yes. No, it's not a good
Right.
thing though.
My
He's
chat
like, that's
worked.
exactly what I wanted to hear.
Oh, and poor Richard tried so hard to stop them.
Thank God he didn't die. I'm so scared for
I
him
know.
now. I thought he was gonna die when he's like, follow me. He's gonna and then just get hit by something or just smoke take over. Yeah, this episode was great. It really got very interesting. I
Now the
love
numbers are
Locke's
starting
story.
to come. No, the meaning of the true meaning of the numbers are starting to come
Yes,
into focus.
each number was represented a person that was on the plane.
Yeah, so
That Jacob
4,
selected.
Yeah, 4 was Locke. 8 was Hugo.
23
15
was
was
Shepard.
yeah, 23 was Shepard. 42 was Quan, but we don't know if it's Sun or Jin, which means
I think
one of them is not.
No, they're both Quan, but he doesn't know which one.
Right.
Right, so that's
yeah.
what I mean. So does that mean that one of them is not going to survive?
Right, and now Kate was visited by Jacob too. I didn't see her name up there.
We also, I don't think they showed who number 15 was. Because I
thought
saw
15 was Ford was what? I thought he was
Ford
15.
was 16, I think.
You're going to remember the numbers. I
thought he
I
was
wasn't looking at the
15.
numbers so
Or
much.
maybe he was 15. They didn't show 16 then.
I don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Either way,
Ooh.
we didn't see Kate.
I
Right.
believe she is definitely one of the numbers, and people getting crossed off. Obviously, they're dead. So, God, that sucks. This season's so different, and I think it's so interesting because here we have these two separate universes. I don't want to say timelines anymore because it seems like both universes are existing, and having this happen, like, why is this even happening? It just makes me feel like the island is more of a purgatory. I don't know how else to put it. What do you guys think about the island?
I don't know, but I think with him being off the island and with Helen, I mean, they were showing signs of you don't have to be, it's okay to be who you are and live with it. And I think now you're seeing on the island him not as Locke, but as, the smoke monster. But you do see elements of Locke within him. Like he is trying to, get away with trying to Sawyer. Okay, you're the chosen one. I'm choosing you, and it's okay to, forget. You can forget your past. Come with me, and we'll solve everything together. And for him to be like back in the past with, I don't know if it's the past or not. It's like this other life he has. Like it's okay to, push it aside and move forward. I don't know. I'm
don't
know if really Sawyer is the one though.
No, but I mean, if you look at like half the numbers, like Kate, if she has a number, Kate, James, and
Hugo.
Who else?
Hugo.
They're still having. Well, not Jin, but like Kate, definitely Sawyer, and Locke. In the other reality, they're still having a hard life.
Big time.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if you look at like Shepard or Jin and Sun, they're not having. So far, it doesn't seem like they're having too much of a struggle in that timeline versus on the island.
Yeah, we're not really focused on them either a lot yet.
No.
So maybe we'll start seeing certain things.
I'm sure we will. I'm sure we will.
It is interesting to see the different universes where the plane actually landed, and certain things were better and then other things were worse. So John Locke, like, I love his character. Like, I think it's so sad that he died. I'm glad he's still in the picture. We're seeing things in this alternate universe, and we're seeing him as this evil smoke monster, which, again, I think there is some kind of connection. I know Tom said something last time about, like, you think both of these universes. We were saying timelines before, but I think universes is better because you have completely different. It's almost like the same present time, even though we just saw the plane land, and I think it's going to catch
universes?
Up. It could be
happening.
happening
The same universe, just happening simultaneously, but you know what I mean.
Not
it's
really.
all going on at the same time, so they're in the same universe, and it's the same time frame. It's just there's two different realities going on. But what I was saying before,
I get that, but I still feel like I know. Yeah, it is true because we see multiverse stuff.
What I was saying before about like with Locke, Kate, and Sawyer still having rough times in the other universe or time frame, whatever you want to call it. But you still see like on the island, they all grew into different people. They were all better than what they were.
I think they bettered themselves.
Yeah, I do too.
And then people like Jack and Jack especially, you see him, he's being really nice to like Locke and stuff, which I mean, they don't know each other that well yet, but he was being really nice, offering a free service to Locke and all that stuff. So he was a lot different. Where on the island, he was always like revenge. I'm doing things my way, that kind of thing. So he was a lot darker, I think, on the island than he was in that other time frame.
Agreed. Mm-hmm. And honestly, with the island, most of the characters that we watch, like the main characters, like they've bettered themselves. Not perfect. Like, again, nothing's ever perfect in this show. No one's ever perfectly good or perfectly evil. But, people do have their flaws. And the island
look
really...
at Hugo.
Yeah.
Hugo, in both realities, though, he's still a nice person.
He is, yeah. And what I was going to say is on the island, they were challenged to the extreme in ways that were specific to each person. So, like with Jack, like it was life or death a lot of times for a lot of the characters. It wasn't just having a conversation and having, certain things are serious that happen in the life after the plane landed, like on the mainland, but like their lives were threatened so much on the island, like they were fighting for their lives for survival, that you know that they're you really get to know a person, I guess, when you're in that situation, because their truth really comes out, because everyone's on, you know, fight or flight, or, you know, they're on survival mode. So that really shows their pure self. And then here, because they're not having those challenges, they're kind of drowning in what, you know, their flaws are, it seems like. Not everyone, but like Locke. I can't imagine struggling like that, not being able to walk, and he wanted to do this walkabout. He's been denied a lot of things in his life, and he's still stubborn and saying, I can do that. I can park where I want. You know, I could have whatever job that I want. Like, I feel so terrible for him. Like, I get what he's saying because he's so upset, but it's not realistic. And now he's saying he has to be more realistic, but because it's just hard. You know?
It is hard because he's pushing that he doesn't want to be, you know, labeled as disabled. And I thought it was great when Rose happened to be the supervisor in the temp agency, where she was very cool about it.
She understands his battle.
And she's like, no, I have terminal cancer, and but I am still going on with my life. It's okay to call what you are, you know, and you know, for him to just struggle, he's making all these struggles even harder for himself because of that barrier he's putting up against himself, where he wants to be equal. He isn't equal. He's an equal person, but he doesn't want that label.
You have to know your limits too. Like, you can't just be given a job that you can't actually perform. You know, you're going to get paid for something that you can't even do. Like, it's really hard, and he's just so stubborn. And again, like, I can't even imagine that kind of struggle.
You can, and it must stink, as you know, as a handicapped person. Yes, you know, you parked in the wrong spot. Yes, now. How Hugo got out of that Hummer. I mean, I'm not trying to be rude, but I'm just saying, I mean, he parked right there, the driver's side right there. Like, but it was so great to have him, of all people, parked right next to Locke.
Everything's destined, like they were saying,
that's what I mean, though,
like,
and he was so
together.
sweet about it, you know. And
well, that's what I mean. If you look at Hugo in both on the island and in that reality, he's still a sweet guy trying to help out.
Absolutely.
His, people.
Yeah.
He doesn't have like an evil bone in his body.
He doesn't. And he's very caring and calm.
Yeah. I think he's the real contender because, I mean, everybody else has a flaw, whether it's in, the island or in the real life. Or
so he's kind of like, or I almost said something Game of Thrones, but I won't do that. But anyways, so I can see that, because he's like the pure, caring person. I mean, he had a lot of guilt. He, he had this curse about him for so long, too, and he was paranoid about that and seeing the dead. Like, there's just all these, like, things that you just have so many extra questions on why they have these certain gifts, or
see, like even the bad luck that he had, it wasn't
curses,
or curses, whatever you want to call it. He blamed himself for it, but he never actually physically did those actions.
He didn't. I mean? That's right.
So he can't. You can't say like you can't put any evil on him because he didn't do anything. It's just.
Right.
Yeah, well, the curse would jinx him. It would, like, things would happen around him. Even the freaking meteor hitting the freaking restaurant.
And actually never, ever happened to him personally. It was people that he loved around him.
Yeah, it was never him. He didn't have evil intentions. Yes, I agree there. Like, it was, but he had that curse about him because of the numbers. And then, so it's still a question on, like, why him? But it's all, like, It's like all destiny, because here Jacob seeked out these specific people to draw them onto this plane in a way and to have them crash.
But what about the people who are still alive that aren't numbered as part of these numbers? Like Saeed.
Saeed was a number.
Saeed was there.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right. He was on 42, right?
I wasn't paying attention to the numbers, but
that's right. I forgot he was there, but you didn't see Claire on there.
No.
I didn't see Claire.
Yeah, what's her story? I mean, I know she's kind of in evil mode right now. So is she like the same as what Locke has become? Is there more of these smoke monsters?
Saeed could become.
Yeah, I'm thinking more of like Saeed. Because because they mentioned something about the water or something, right? So yeah, that's pretty crazy. I mean, I feel so bad for Claire because I really liked her character, and then she just like disappeared off the face of the island, and then we hardly saw her after that.
You know what they need for that temple water? They need those life straws that suck out all the bacteria and stuff.
Ew, gross. That's what it is. It's that like bad infection. Gross. So having Sawyer struggle, I mean, I feel so bad for him. I really enjoy his character too. He's come so far, and losing Juliet really destroyed him.
He's always been pushed to the limits, of good and bad, But he seems to be, especially up until Juliet passed, he was making good decisions. He seemed like he was
very level-headed. He took his time answering, a question that needed to be not only dealt with but acted upon.
And he wasn't so selfish either.
And not, and Jacob and now Evil Locke is saying to him, well, Jacob came to you when you were down, and a path that, needed, he was there at your worst moment.
As a kid.
But you know what? He's right there now at his worst moment too.
That's
true.
Well,
that's the thing, because
mean, he's drunk. He's sitting there in the house, and now Evil Locke comes up to him and come with me. Richard's pleading with him, "Don't do it, don't do it." And he knows deep in his heart. He goes, "What are you? You're not Locke." I mean, he knows deep in his heart it's not him. It's an evilness, but he still goes down.
Well, not even like he knows right off the bat it's not Locke. He even said that right from the start,
and he still goes down.
There's no debate or struggle there.
He never saw Locke's physical body.
Right.
He's just like, I don't care anymore. He goes like, if you're dead, I do time travel because I've seen everything now, so I'm not questioning anything anymore. I'm just doing my own thing. Screw you all.
I'll go down a ladder, down a cliff. Sure.
Yeah, and then Dark Locke, Evil Locke, Smoke Locke is just like saying the right things because he manipulates and
Smoke Locke.
So when you say smoked Locke, I think of smoked salmon.
Locks.
Yeah, so Sawyer, as much as I love his character, if we're going to just theorize that there is like this one person like Jacob that's supposed to take over for Jacob, that's who he was looking for, the perfect candidate, I would think Hugo. Sawyer I love, but he is way too conflicted between good and evil, we'll say. So right now he's going very dark, and you have Evil Locke saying the things he wants to hear. He's saying exactly what he needs, like, especially because Sawyer is not easily, conned. He's a con man. Like, he's very smart. He knew right away that wasn't Locke. Like, how do you just look at someone and say, you're not actually him, even though you're in his physical form?
But Locke telling him that he's been conned his entire life by Jacob to push him to his island.
Exactly.
So he has been,
He's saying exactly what he wants to hear.
I still think Hugo is the biggest contender for
that's what I agree with you.
Locke's biggest fear, I want to say.
Yeah, and
Locke.
I agree with the Hugo thing, and with Sawyer, just saying that like he's a con man. He's very smart. He doesn't he's not easily persuaded into anything, but yet here he knows that Evil Locke is Evil Locke, or just not the Locke he knows, and yet he's still following him because Locke is saying everything that he wants to hear. So he's still getting to him, which is a powerful thing. And I'm really sad because I know we've seen so many things on this island where it's always a test about what do you choose, like, because they're always very specific to each person and the struggles they had in the past that we've seen. So now I'm like, is Sawyer going, like, is this going to be his ending path where he's going to just be pure evil? I'm just afraid now that he's going to actually go down this rabbit hole with Evil Locke, and
I think he might start going down the hole, but then I think he might catch himself and realize, but
Kate,
I don't think he's gonna. I hate to say it, but I don't think he would pull out from that. Like, I don't think Locke would let him just leave, alive.
Right, and with the symbol, taking that white rock off the scale and pitching it. Is that supposed to be saying to James, hey, you can replace it, you can be the replacement, or I'm throwing all goodness off of this island?
I think I think that second part you were saying.
Yeah,
I think
the latter part.
He's saying that because I'm assuming that Locke right now is that dark stone.
Yes.
And he just killed Jacob, so the balance of power shifted on the island.
Yeah, because
he has it. He's owning it, and he's going to take over. But yet he's saying to James he wants off the island.
Now watch Hugo find that rock.
Just to throw this in there really quick too, with him like showing that metaphor or like that symbolic idea of having the scale there with the rocks, we've seen Jacob before with the smoke monster. The smoke monster was dressed in black, and then Jacob was in white in a flashback. So I totally think those rocks represent them, as we talked about. And then him throwing it, I kind of predicted it because it was kind of like, it was very predictable there that he was going to like throw it and then the scales would be off balance. But I kind of think he's manipulating Sawyer even more with that because he wants Sawyer to truly believe that he has no true purpose there on the island to help Locke get off the island. So if he like throws a rock and says like that's the whole joke, that's a joke we had, and the joke of protecting the island, this island doesn't need any protection, it's all a facade, people could just do what they want, we need to be free or whatever. So I think he's also trying to knock Sawyer down a bit to not even have the motivation to want to protect the island because he wants to, that's the only way he's going to be able to get help to get off the island. Evil Locke.
Right. Well, also when he said that's an inside joke when he threw the rock,
that was between him and Jacob.
Well, yeah, but Sawyer doesn't know. He doesn't know who Jacob is, and he doesn't know that Locke had him killed by Ben. So he doesn't know the whole story behind that. So being an inside joke is actually something that Sawyer wouldn't be involved in right now.
Right.
He wouldn't know about.
I know, but at the end there, when he's looking at all the names. And he's like talking about protecting because he's asking questions about like, well, why are our names up there? So he's kind of giving him half truths, being like, okay, well, Jacob chose you guys. You saw him at one point in your life when you were your most vulnerable, when he was little, and here, he's like because he's choosing you guys to protect the island to take his place, but there is no protection needed. So I still feel like he's still knocking him down to think, oh yeah, this island doesn't need protection. Why would I do that? Jacob was manipulating me, so that way.
And he's doing
squashed.
this. Yeah, and he's doing the same thing that Jacob did when he was little. He's coming to James now at his most vulnerable time too. I mean, he just lost the love of his life. He's drunk off his ass. He's by himself.
Yeah.
So he's doing the same thing.
Yeah, and that's why he's able to get to Locke a little bit more because he's so good at not getting conned and here.
But I also think that Locke also can't do certain things himself, so he needs someone to
do
stuff for him, like
or just cross more people off.
But I think if you get someone to the dark side, that automatically takes him off the list, as a candidate. But I'm thinking that there's certain things like he couldn't kill Jacob, so he had to have Ben do it, by coercing him before they found out that he was not actually Locke.
Yeah.
But then somebody mentioned in this episode that because I think they said that what's to stop him from switching to look like somebody else. And they go, well, he can't anymore. He's trapped. He's trapped as Locke.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So is it because he killed Jacob, and maybe he's being punished for that?
Yeah. Is there another higher power that's like, okay, now things are
like
off scale, so
who's that
freeze?
kid that I saw? Is that Spirit Jacob or something? When he was a kid or something?
I don't know. It could be a little Jacob.
You made a joke about that, Tom. About
he was scared to see him, so much so that
because after Jacob died, Hurley still saw him. Hurley was still talking to him. In the spirit realm.
And then Sawyer saw a little kid, whoever that is.
He did.
We're assuming it's Jacob, but
right. He kind of looks like Jacob a little bit, so I'm kind of thinking that maybe.
And he was talking directly to Evil Locke, who was scared and like, you can't tell me what to do. And again, parallel to what actual Locke would say.
You can't kill him. So it's got to be him.
Yeah. So I wonder if, resurrected, but he's like a young kid. He's not like a baby, like just
his
born,
young self
reborn again.
telling
But
him you can't.
So you just reset as a young kid again when you die or something. But it's like you can't just have pure evil. You need to have good to balance it out. So no matter what, it'll always come back. So maybe it's just a restart of Jacob.
Yeah, and or he's also just being his own. He's being a messenger for Evil Locke, saying, "Hey, you can kill me, but you can't kill the good. So I am going to have a successor, and it's going to be one of those people that is, marked in the rock in the cave."
I'm curious to see if Hugo will see this kid, and if Miles will see this kid.
Yeah,
because at first, Richard didn't see the kid. When because when Locke first saw him, he was looking at something, and Richard looked back, and there was nobody there.
Yeah.
So, but then Sawyer and Locke both saw him. So there's got to be some significance with Sawyer seeing him too.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe because his name isn't crossed off in the cave, and that was the reason.
I think the names are only crossed off after you die. I think that's the biggest thing. Like once you're dead, like that's when your name gets crossed off, because he crossed off.
Yeah, but
Locke's
they
name
didn't
there
show.
too.
They didn't show Miles's name on.
Well, we didn't see a lot of people. Yeah, we only saw
True.
certain people with the numbers. So I think there was one or two that we might have missed. But
Just
yeah, I don't.
Ones of the numbers.
I think like the highest candidates, we saw most of them.
The highest contenders.
Yeah, the highest contenders, and yeah, like Sawyer, him seeing this little boy, I'm kind of like, I feel like that might be Jacob reaching out to him.
Yeah, and he is a high contender.
Yeah, so he's even higher than originally I thought. Like, I didn't think he was going to be, like, a big choice. Mm-hmm. I love him, don't get me wrong, but because he has such a struggle with good and evil,
But he really did prove himself when he was,
He did. No, I think he did
for
great.
the others, when he was by himself and when he was with Juliet. His true...
he's shown that he can be a good person.
Was there.
I do think he's a really good person. I'll rephrase that. I think he's really good, but he does struggle with a lot of darkness where he does go down a spiral, and right now he's doing the same thing. So I do think, like what you said, Tom, that like I think he's going to go full on like bad until like Kate or something happens at the end, which will make him turn and do the right thing. So I'm just afraid he's going to die at the end. I'm always like, because it's always been like that. So I feel like that's going to be the ending thing, to whatever major decision is going to be made. And I'm hoping that he'll do the right thing, which I'm pretty sure he will, especially when it comes to the people he cares about. Even Jack, like I know he hates Jack right now. He's so angry, but...
I feel like, obviously I feel like there's only going to be one winner, of course, if you want to call it a winner. But I can see Sawyer sacrificing himself so that somebody else can succeed.
Exactly. Yeah, I think so too.
Right, like he mentioned, I'm here because there was one heavy on the helicopter. Who was that? That was him. He gave himself...
He was always making that sacrifice.
He's always been, he is very caring in that way. And then it was interesting not having Kate on the wall. She might be there, but I can honestly agree with that. I like her character, but, and she really does care for certain people, but I don't see her as... selfless. I'm trying to be nice because I do like her, but I don't see her as selfless as like Hugo and even Sawyer. Like she does truly love like Sawyer and Jack, but
well, she's kind of more like Jack, where she's one-sided with her decisions. She doesn't really think of what could happen on both sides. She's just, we have to do it this way. We have to. Yeah, it's more.
Impulsive.
We have to go back for this person. We have to. She's definitely became a better person on the island.
Yeah, I agree.
Than what her life was going in the other time frame or reality.
And I really think she's great. Like I loved her like on the island, and she helping Claire. Like she did so many things for so many people. And so I don't mean anything bad by that. I just see like I can see Sawyer. It's hard because he's so extreme both ways, and then
he goes down.
He's more good, but
he is. And they, look, they're all human. They all have their, their struggles in their lives. But I think out of anybody, it's Hugo. Hugo has been more consistent over anyone.
And in both realities, you know, he's been.
I love how kind he is. I mean, all the time, but like him being like after the plane landing and him like running businesses and stuff, like he still stayed the same and is so true to like talking to people and even being cursed, you know, like he's still really good with people. And you know, because he was getting paranoid for a while and freaking out now and again, but he truly stayed like a good, happy person and helping out Locke.
Well, he was always willing to help people. Yeah,
he always had that about him. So he is really a pure character. I really enjoy him a lot. But guys, we're going to wish you a happy holidays because we're running out of time. So we love you. And please subscribe, and we'll see you very soon as always. Bye, guys.
Bye. Toodaloo. Sayonara. Arrivederci.